Peace forever and always, and welcome to another spontaneous edition of what we call the Reality Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, host of this program. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub Nub 7. I am your soul brother, number one. I don't want to hold you very long. We just want to make a comment on this subject matter and then go on about our day. I hope that your day this afternoon is peaceful and you're doing as well as possible in our current environment. Shout out to our Deacons of Reality, always here to support us in the chat room. I first want to say that I did try to I did put in a request for a interview or a debate with what's his name, that pastor Gino Jennings. And I give him credit because he does know how to debate, and the debates that I saw with him with Nation of Islam was excellent. In fact, I give all those brothers that debate, I give them their accolades, I give them credit for presenting and acting as though that's how you're supposed to debate. So shout out to Pastor Gino Jennings and the Nation of Islam, those who participated in those Christian versus Muslim or Muslim versus Christian debates, however they want to call it. I would find it very interesting. Of course, I don't expect to hear anything. We had a brother that was supposed to be a part of the Nation of Islam on our broadcast. What was it, Sunday morning? And he was talking about bringing Brother Wesley Muhammad. I doubt it. I very much doubt that's going to happen, because these people don't know their folks. They're not close to their people like that. He's just a nobody, a regular average guy in the ranks selling pies and fish sandwiches on the street. They don't care. And also, come to think of it, this brother, he's been on my page, my Facebook page, for a while. And it seems as though he's mentally unstable, because he came to our platform as though he's gun-ho with the Nation of Islam. But if I go back, if I remember correctly, he's wishy-washy. He doesn't even support the nation like that, because he's going through some kind of mental gymnastics. I can't describe it. That's the type of post that I saw from him. I also would like to let you know that brother, I don't answer restricted calls. So this brother called and I answered, but I didn't say anything, because I don't respond to restricted calls. And he started talking. And he started calling us names, Uncle Tom, Coon, Trader, all this other foolish silliness that we expect from them. And he called me a coward for not answering my phone or not responding. But you called my phone hiding behind a restricted line. What's your telephone number? How you gonna call somebody a coward and you hiding behind a restricted telephone number? How you gonna call somebody a coward and you hiding behind an avatar? and you really expect anybody should take you seriously. But I just wanted to let you know about that. So don't expect him to come back to the platform. In fact, none of these people, when they come catch this heat, they don't come back no more. And there's a reason for that. First of all, they really don't even know what they believe. We spent 3 hours with this man. He really don't even know what he believes in. Most of them don't. They caught up in the hype. They caught up in the feel good. But when you come into the real world, it's a whole different ball game. Now, in their world, there is some truth. But they don't take it as truth. They take it as, I know. It's knowledge. It's real information. This is not always the case. I have no problem with saying I could be wrong. So if I can say that I could be wrong, I am not embarrassed. I am not ashamed. In fact, I get stronger. I get better because now I know that's wrong. Let me keep looking for the right. But that does not mean that right is what you tell me. Because right has to pass the criteria of logic, reasoning, common sense, and being analytical. If you cannot pass that criteria, then you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that what you told me or what you're trying to show me is right. One of the things that in this conscious community, hold on a second. One of the things that they teach in the black conscious community that they all don't agree upon, but it's a teaching, it's knowledge, it's information. One of the things that they teach is the black woman is God. Well, actually, we don't have to argue. From our side, we don't even have to really argue or debate because God does not exist. But in the black conscious community, there are teachings where the black woman is God. Now, you may find this interesting. The teaching is the black woman is God, but the leaders, the spokespeople for that are men, not women. They follow behind the man. If the black woman is God, why doesn't she speak like a God? Why don't she speak for herself? Why are you as a man speaking for the goddess when the goddess should have the power to speak for herself? She's God. The black woman is God, and out of this teaching comes, or this belief, that the black woman, soul sisters, or the black woman, she created out of her womb, from her, she created all the races. All the different types of people on humanity would not exist without her. Is that realistic? Is that a possibility? And it's based upon that she can produce lighter skinned babies, which is true. Two dark skinned people, two dark melanated people can produce light-skinned child can produce children that look like and even carry the features of other people in humanity. This is true. But did they actually come from her? That's the question we want to answer. I could be wrong, but I'm bringing up why I don't believe that. And we have the right to raise questions. We have the right to examine the information, the teachings, the scholarship. We have a right, if you are in your right state of mind, you have the right to do so, because something here don't make sense. Now, it is true that melanated women can produce lighter skinned offspring. It is true that she produced albino. It's true that lighter skinned or non-melanated or partially melanated people cannot produce darker. That's true. We know this. But if you're making the claim that she is the one that made it possible to all these other people on the earth, then if that's true, well, first of all, lighter skinned offspring or albino offspring is not a race. That's your first problem. Your first problem is light skin, albino is not a race. All races, even when you look at animals, all animals can produce albino. All animals can produce a light. It's a rare mutation. But that albino is still of that species. For some reason, there was a mutation. There was an abnormality. A mutation is an abnormality. And this particular offspring does not have it. You can go out into the wild and you might see an albino bear, black bear, an albino alligator. The problem with albinism is that in nature, animals use this color for camouflage, so they can be able to hide from a potential meal, or so they can hide so they don't get ate up. So when an animal is void of camouflage, void of their melanin, void of the colors that they need in order to survive, it makes survival more difficult or impossible. So if you are a rabbit and you cannot change your fur in the summertime from brown to white in the wintertime, there's more of a chance that you will be preyed upon. But just because the rabbit changed from brown to white, it's still that same rabbit. It does not change. It's not a new rabbit. It's not a new race. It's the same rabbit. Using their logic, then black women should be having babies of other races without the help of a man or male from another race, another humanity. But see, the problem here is, if your black woman baby and that baby was Chinese or looked Chinese, you would have a problem with that. Even though now you're the one saying that the black woman is God and she produced the races, well, she should be able to produce not light-skinned children. She should be able to have actual babies from another race, because that's part of her. So that's according to your teaching, not mine, but your teaching. And that would be unacceptable to you. Even though you teach the black woman is God, you will question your wife, your girlfriend, that spit out a baby that looked like Caucasian or some kind of Indian or Asian or whatever. You would have a problem with that. Why would you have a problem with that when you said a black woman is God? So she spits out children of other races now and then because that's part of her. That's y'all logic. No, you would be going looking and you would be charging her with cheating on you. What Chinese man you slept with? What Asian man you slept with? What white man you slept with? But you teach the black woman is God, she can spit out all these other races. You said they all come from her. That's your teaching, that's your logic. But for me, I know that don't make any damn sense. Without the help of a male from another race, I've never heard of no black woman bringing into this world a child of another race without the help of a male from that race. Now, if you have heard of this, please put it in the chat room. Put it in the comment section. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of a black woman that had a child that was of another race with no help from a male from that race. And then the child is not even pure. The child is biracial, a mulatto. There's no melanated woman in history. I've never heard of that scientifically, that she can produce another race. Only light skin. And light skin is not a race. Albino is not a race. It's just a lack of melanin. It's the lack of pigmentation. That's all it is. It's not another race. Now, there's something called, in science, and you can look it up. I don't have to look it up. I used to raise aquarium fish, so I'm going to use aquarium fish as an example. It's something called Mendelism. Mendelism. I want to give you an example. I'm going to use aquarium fish as an example. We have the wild, what we call the wild guppy. And if you go look up what a wild guppy looks like, it's a plain Jane. It's a little minnow fish. I think it's native in South America, the islands, Trinidad, Tobago, or whatever like that. The original minnow fish, very small, little tiny fish. Many of us, we've had guppies, live-bearing fish. Now, if you go to the aquarium store, to the pet store, you will see the wild guppy. A lot of times, they sell wild guppies as feeder fish. They feed them to piranhas and other fish that eat fish. When you go into the store, you will see the hybrids. They will have brilliant colors. They're bigger than the original. They have been manipulated. The wild guppy has been manipulated by human beings. Now this is the point I want to make. all these hybrids, hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of guppies. But the original, the wild guppy that they come from, they never have none of the hybrids. Even though they are the original, even though all these hybrids came from the original, but the original never has none of these hybrids. So based upon Mendelism, based upon genetics, the science, real science, you cannot get a mutation, you cannot get a hybrid out of the original. The original never produces none of these different varieties of guppies. The black woman, she may be the original, but she cannot produce all these different mutations, all these different other races of people, even though they all may have come from one source. She does not have, these wild guppies never have none of these hybrids. Never. The original. So what you're talking about doesn't make any sense in real science, in our reality. The original chicken, which is the guinea fowl, the original chicken, the guinea fowl, does not produce none of these varieties of chickens. The original pig, which is the boar and the peccary, does not produce none of these varieties of hog and pig. Nothing, at no time. They don't do that. Even though our modern day hog comes from the peccary and the boar. Even though our modern day chicken comes from the guinea fowl. The guinea fowl, the original, does not produce these hybrids, these mutations. They're mutations. And the reason why there's different races of people is because of natural transformation or human intervention, one or the other. Animals change in nature when they go to different environments or they eat certain food in a certain area, geographical areas. There's natural transformation that produces mutation. Animals mutate to fit the environment, to fit the new food source so they can survive. Those that cannot mutate, I will give you another example. I saw a video about some birds. And these birds was driven from their natural habitat and they began to live in the habitat where there are people. And they start doing what they normally do in the wild, nesting under these bridges of highways. In nature, they don't have to worry about a highway. They can just find their nest and do what they do. But when they began to move where people live, and they began to build their nests around highways, under these bridges, these large trucks and vehicles, so high, when the birds come out their nest, these trucks was killing them. Had birds all over the highway. And as the birds lived there, over a certain period of years, their whole physical body began to change. From a large bird to a smaller bird, so when they come out, they don't have to go down so far. And these trucks don't kill them. This is what happened in nature. So even though all human beings come from out of Africa, so they say, we really don't know, but as far as we think we know, all human beings come from Africa. As those people migrated and went through these changes just like any other animal, like any other life form. So when you are in a hot place and you migrate to somewhere that's cold, over a certain period of time, that life form changes. That's what has happened. This is real science. This is what has happened. This is what Darwin meant by natural selection. Those animals or those life forms that cannot adapt, they cannot change, they go extinct. So there's many animals, there's many life forms that we don't know nothing about, been here and gone, because they could not adapt to the changes of the earth. So clearly, this claim that the black woman created all the races is false. She cannot produce them, because if that's the case, then she can produce those races out of her womb right now, and your mama, your girlfriend, your great-grandma, ain't nobody, none of these women produce not one child from another race. She can only reproduce herself. I could be wrong. I could be in error. I don't see it. And you don't see it. If this was true in our family, all of us would be saying, I don't know where they come from, but we got a Chinese in our family, our mama had. We got an Asian in our family, had an Indian. We got a Caucasian. My mama, they never slept with no white man or Asian. She just spit one out one day. None of y'all can make that claim, because it don't happen. The black woman can only produce herself. And then when you're speaking about the black woman, even if it was possible, you're not talking about the so-called Negro in America. They didn't come from us, because the so-called Negro, the once called Negro in America, is an admixture people. And because we are an admixture people, and it's proven, we do produce children that look sort of like these other races, because they're in our DNA. There's white people in our history somewhere. There's some kind of Asian in our history, some kind of Indian in our DNA, because we all mixed up. But that's the only reason. And if the black woman is God, what is her power? What is her power? If the black man is God, what is your power? I'm a black man. The black man is God. But you have no power. You make excuses for not having power. There's no evidence you even had any power to begin with. The whole continent of Africa was conquered by a few Europeans in a little amount of time. Here you are, powerful Africa, and using your words, some cave beasts, some savages in Europe, cave people. Here comes some cave people out of nowhere, come and kick you in your ass. And you still getting your ass whooped. And you've been there for millions and Some of y'all said trillions of years, and here come a new man living in a cave, come out of nowhere, come over to your house and kick your ass, and you still can't do nothing. To me, that's truly embarrassing. I wouldn't want to call myself God. I'm a God for trillions of years, and somebody not on my level, totally not on my level, come out of nowhere, kick me in my ass. And you're still on the bottom. You still can't do nothing. You got a big mouth. And you talk big and bad. And you sound smart. But you're on the bottom. So nobody give a damn because you sound smart. Because you try to act tough. You ain't tough. On the bottom. You only threaten your own people. You only threaten other melanated people. You only abuse and exploit black women. The God, the goddess. You ain't never attacked the Ku Klux Klan. You ain't never attacked the Nazi Party. You ain't never attacked a racist police station with your bad ass. You so bad in God. Only a few individual brothers have done that. And you don't talk about them at all. But you say that's what we need to do. They don't talk about Michael Johnson and what's the other brother? In our recent times. They don't even talk about them. But they say we're supposed to be revolutionary. I'm ready to die for mine. But you don't even talk about the ones that actually done it. You don't never say nothing. And when those brothers did go through that, I'm the only one that talked about them. And I'm still the only one that put their pictures in my video. They don't talk about them at all. They talk about Fred Hampton, may he rest in peace. But they don't talk about our people that's ready to do it now. They did it right here. What was that? The 2000s. They was quiet as church mice because they didn't want to get their YouTube channel flagged. I remember that sister, what's her name? Frederica Whitfield. She was on CNN. And they was talking about one of those brothers. One of those brothers, the police they were so scared of him, they had to use a robot to go get him. That's how bad he was. And I don't know which one of the brothers it was, but Frederica Whitfield was talking about one of them, and she said to her, that sounded sort of brave, for them to stand up like that, because of all that police brutality that our people were suffering. And then she had to turn around and apologize for what she said, so she could keep her job. And see, we're not together. So our people that might want to say something know they better not say something because we don't have their back because we're a bunch of punks. Even the pro-black, blackity-black community. The Nation of Islam don't talk about those brothers. Y'all scary ass. Because you don't want your meal ticket. You want to keep them donations from YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. You got to keep the donations going. Umar Johnson don't talk about real revolution. They don't talk about those brothers. They don't talk about them. Real heroes. Not from 1930, not 5,000 years ago. Brothers that actually done it and gave their lives as individuals. But you the God, no power, except you got a big ass mouth. That's why I don't watch your damn videos. Trying to talk tough, huffing and puffing, and you talk like you got all this knowledge. You got all this knowledge and don't have a pot to piss in. And you're taking millions, thousands, millions of dollars from the community and giving them nothing. They damn fools for doing that. But that's because they're a bunch of punks too. They ain't really, they cowards just like you a coward. None of you are ready to do what's necessary to bring this garbage to an end once and for all. If it took 500,000 out of the 40 million of us here in this country to bring this to an end once and for all, it needs to be done. It ain't gonna be me. Scary ass. I just want to build a business. Scary ass. That would show anybody there's a price to pay when you mess with me. But most of our people in this country, we can't really talk the way we really want to. Because we know we're on our own. We don't have any backup. These black power, black folks, y'all a bunch of cowards. No, I don't want to be part of black liberation. You've been around 100 years with that black liberation garbage. You ain't liberated nothing. You follow pedophiles. Brother Polite. I just learned there's another sucker. What's his name? Rashad Jamal or whatever his damn name. 2 pedophiles in jail. Y'all giving all your money. You believe in all that nonsense. The deacon said everyone praising Cat Williams. Cat Williams is a comedian. Cat Williams ain't real. There's a little video. Malcolm X said, when did comedians become revolutionaries? There's no revolution. These other people on the earth, their revolutionaries are not comedians. They don't mind Cat Williams saying what Cat Williams said because he's not bothering white folks. He's exposing the Negroes, the other slaves on the plantation. So who cares? And y'all eating it up. Thousands and thousands of views. What do Cat Williams do? Cat Williams is not a revolutionary. What man want to be, what man want his name to be Cat anyway? Meow, meow. Exactly. I'm going to go hear Cat Williams. So the next time he go on tour and make a movie so you can buy his crap, so he can live this lavish lifestyle. He's not a revolutionary. He's not nobody's going to liberate nobody. All these folks talking about each other, backbiting, exposing themselves. What is the benefit? What is the benefit to you? But this type of behavior, this is what you like. Where are all those people that was listening to us when we was going back and forth with the demons of darkness? Where y'all ass at? Because that's what they here for. That's what you like. You're a pig that like filth. There's no filth to eat here. On Facebook, the suckers talk about they know me. They know me because they watch our videos where I might talk about the Nation of Islam, some type of video they think is a beef video. They don't really listen to what we have to say. They feed on negativity. They feed on the foul. They feed on sewage. Parasitic. And they feed on falsehood and lies, gossip and slander. But that's all right. You get what you ask for. And this other guy, what's his name? Charleston White. Who the hell is a Charleston White? And these guys have nasty mouths. They profane. And you sit back and listen to this garbage. Feces. You drink water out of the toilet bowl. You ignore those who actually would care about you. You actually ignore the ones that have the vision, the purpose, the creativity to take you out of this condition once and for all. You like to play ring around the roses, and this stuff goes on and on and on. It never comes to an end. Then you get upset when somebody like me expose your ass for being fake. You're not as smart as you think that you are. Y'all live in la la land. That's not my fault. I report on how stupid you are. How foolish and silly you really are. How dumb you really are. Because in your mind, I got the information. I'm a scholar. I'm so smart. I'm here to show you you're not as smart as you think you is. Don't make any damn sense. So I would like to invite those who believe the black woman is God. You come here and show us how that's possible. Scientifically, there's no real science that back up what you're talking about. She's a goddess with no power. She's the creator of all these races, but none of these races come out of her womb. None of them. At no time. But she created them. In your family, there's a family trait. Skin tone, lips, facial features that run in your family. And then you might see somebody else with your features and make you wonder, are y'all related? And you find out that you are related because somebody somewhere down the line in there, that's how they got your family trait. That's why you was produced somewhere else. This black woman do not produce races. She can only produce skin tone. She does not produce other races. Just like the wild guppy. The wild guppy does not produce these hybrids, these mutations that was created by men. They don't, the original wild guppy, where they come from, that's their DNA, that's them. But they cannot produce the mutation. So using Mendelism, which is a proven science in all life, what you talking about the black woman is God and created all these races, it's impossible. And the reason why I can talk about that is because I'm outside of that foolish box. All these teachings is taught because they've never been challenged. You just hear something, it sounds good, and you accept it. No different than when we accepted Christianity, Islam, Moorish, Science Temple, whatever it is, we really don't think about what we're being taught. We just accept it because it sound right. But we really don't know that it's right or correct. And then we start regurgitating. We begin to spew that stuff. But this is 2024. This is 2024. All those things must be challenged. The Deacon of Reality has a quote from King Noble. That which cannot be challenged will not stand. What cannot be challenged will not stand. And him and Brother Natchez Tahuti, who taught, and y'all don't talk about Natchez Tahuti no more either. Out of sight, out of mind. You don't support Natchez Tahuti no more. Out of sight, out of mind. If we cannot use you, we don't give a damn about you. There's who knows how many brothers and sisters from the Civil Rights era, from the Black Power era, in jail. Don't mention them, don't talk about them at all. Out of sight, out of mind. And even if you living, but we cannot use you, out of sight, out of mind. You're pathetic people. You're not real. Selfish. Egotistical. Pathetic and disgusting. And you're going to get what you earn. Like we say on this program all the time, if the right thing, it could be a natural disaster, it could be World War III, something, if the right situation happened, you're going to get what's coming to you. And you created this bed, so you got to lay in it. You had lots of time to do something different. But you like a child. You like the grasshopper. Grasshoppers die when winter comes. Ants prepare for winter and survive the winter and live through the winter. The grasshoppers die. And you have had lots of time to get ready for winter. You ain't doing nothing. Because you think everything is funny. You think everything is a game. You think you're so damn smart. Well, we're going to see how smart you really are. I'm not a prophet. It's common sense. It's just like those people in Hurricane Katrina. Sooner or later, they knew Hurricane Katrina was going to come. It's just like in California. They know that earthquake is coming. They know it. Then, when the earthquake comes, when Hurricane Katrina comes, now you want somebody to cry for you. You knew. But you're a grasshopper. So you don't prepare. You're not like the ant. Prepare for winter. Oh, man. Woo, I don't want to be alive. I don't want to be alive to see you. Folks think it's all a game. And this is the purpose of the adult. I don't expect children. But y'all supposed to be adults. And you behave like children. you're only going to respond because you have to. It's always better to prepare for something. What is it that they say in medicine? An ounce, I'm going to say this, we're going to get out of here. This is what they say in medicine. An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. Say that one more time. Do you understand? An ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. Accept reality, my friend. It's much easier. I could be wrong. The black woman might be God. I don't know. I'm just telling you and I present it to you why I say it don't make sense. It does not make scientific sense. I don't know what science y'all using. It does not make scientific sense. With that said, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to us for a few minutes. And perhaps we can get together this weekend and try to do the live stream that I wanted to do on the 1st of the year. I still want to do that. Shout out to the Deacons of Reality. Shout out to all of you who listen to this, that support, listen to this broadcast. Shout out to our people overseas, London, England, Just Acting and The Resident. Thank you all so much for participating and listening to this spontaneous live stream. Again, I could be in error. Teach me. I could be wrong. I'm open. Teach me. The problem is, you know that you can't. Because what you bring in is not knowledge, it's not information, it's belief. Again, accept reality, my friend. It's much easier. And on that note, like our ancestor Don Cornelius used to always say as a parting, I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we are Audi 5000.